Whenever I fake something, it's obvious.
Oh,
The Ranger Report. Yeah, the Ranger Report. If you want the inside scoop, listen to the Ranger Report. Oh, here we go.
This is the Ranger Report podcast. News, insights, predictions, interviews, and information about the Texas Rangers from the major leagues to the minor leagues. And now, here are your hosts, Ben Dieter and CJ Berryman.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the Ranger Report podcast. I am Ben Dieter. You can find me on Twitter at bdieter75.
I am CJ Berryman. You can find me at CJB_RR on
You can find us at the Ranger Report on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, although I haven't opened Tumblr in like 10 years, so I have no idea what's on there, but hey, we do have one. So, and then also Patreon, become a patron, get cool stuff, all kind of stuff like that. And if you guys haven't noticed, we do this via video, which is via Zoom, and Zoom costs money. And so I'd like
they could probably see me do it right now, and I'm not picking my nose, I'm scratching.
Yeah, scratching is way different than picking.
Yeah, it's not that Seinfeld episode where Jerry's scratching the side of his nose and his girlfriend pulls up next to him and thinks she catches him in the middle of a pick. No, I got a bad itch.
He's scratching. If you want, I can zoom in on that on the video when I edit this podcast.
Don't do that. I don't need them to see my nose hairs.
Yeah, I can understand that completely. So mine are hidden, so it's all good.
Yeah, yours literally goes with.
I don't have a beard. Those are my nose hairs.
That your mustache, like it all comes out of the nostril.
Yeah, that's not actually a mustache. I'm clean shaven on this part.
It just parts that way. Sometimes I got to trim right here.
Yeah, it's really weird. I'm sure our sponsors love this, but I wanted to mention that we're always on Zoom, and it costs money. And we have a new sponsor called Preferred Health Solutions by Hibbs Hallmarking Company. They provide an alternative to traditional insurance plans with robust benefits for your organization. Preferred Health Solutions is a simple, affordable, quality health insurance plan for your small business, and we're going to have someone from there on Thursday to talk about it with us a little bit. They are paying for a year's worth of our Zoom. So thank you, Preferred Health Solutions, for paying for our Zoom for a whole year. So that is awesome. But if you've ever been on the rangerreport.com and ever seen an article written by a man named Charles Parker, that is the man that is going to come talk to us about Preferred Health Solutions. He works for Hibbs Hallmarking Company, and he's a good friend and writes on my site occasionally. So he's a huge Rangers fan. So he'll probably stay on the show after he does his little spiel for a little while because he loves the Rangers. And of course, Thursday's opening day.
Actually, the whole episode is going to be me and him talking about insurance because I'm an insurance agent.
That's right. I bet people would love that on opening day. They would just enjoy that. Enjoy the heck out of that. Opening day, man.
And you guys are talking about Medicare.
They would enjoy the heck out of that, man. That'll be our extra Patreon episode. That'll really make people want to sign up.
Do you have both Medicare A and B? Would you like C? Do you like Part D? Go ahead.
All right. Anyway, no, we're having good fun. But there's another announcement that we'll make on Thursday that we're excited to tell y'all about. There are a couple of things changing here, and of course, I didn't mention off the top, but of course, we are presented by Dallas Sports Nation and brought to you by Walton's. Walton's everything but the meat. Of course, that commercial ran off the top, so you guys know that. Austin and Walton's, man, been just great sponsors and awesome for it's been over a year now. I don't know how long it's been.
We're about to get on to about a year and a half.
Yeah, they've been sponsoring us for a long time, so we are very grateful for that and for all of our sponsors. But we have some news to break, and we'll break that on Thursday, so it gives you something to look forward to on our next show.
Mm-hmm. Make sure you listen on Thursday. Make sure you listen
Thursday. Thursday will be a big day.
Big announcement.
Thursday will be a big day. But yes, we've got a lot going on right now. Spring training is over. They played their last game yesterday. Some guy named Jacob deGrom pitched his last warm-up before he is the Texas Rangers opening day starter. So with spring training over, decisions have been made, and we'll talk about some of those a little bit later in the show. But I wasn't surprised deGrom was the opening day starter. I thought maybe Martin Perez after the year he had last year. But, I mean, you can't be shocked when one of the best pitchers, if not the best pitcher in baseball, gets named the opening day starter.
No, not a shocker at all. I wouldn't have been surprised at all. just kind of out of respect for Martin or just, giving deGrom and Uvalde those extra days and kind of start them at the back end, like Uvalde 4 and deGrom 5 or vice versa, to give them those extra days since they're coming off of, minor injuries in spring. But, I'm not surprised. Yeah, like you said, possibly the best pitcher in baseball. It's arguable. I think he is when he's healthy, when he's on the mound. So,
by the way,
that's going to be key.
I want to make fun of a professional organization real quick. I saw a tweet earlier from Bleacher Report, and they had the top 10 aces in Major League Baseball, and deGrom wasn't on the list.
Okay.
I mean, I guess because he's in Texas now, they forget he exists.
Yeah. All right.
But I just found that humorous that he wasn't on the list of the top 10 best starters in baseball, the best aces.
Bleacher Report is best doing their funny things and not their actual analysis.
Yeah,
I like their funny stuff when they do funny things, but when they try to dig into, and I mean, like I said, arguably, and the reason they probably didn't put him in there is because of his injury.
Yeah.
Last year.
But I mean, I would go if healthy. If healthy, he might be number one, but he's at least in the top 5.
Yeah, for sure. But I wouldn't have been shocked at all if they went with Martin Perez at the top.
No.
With him, he didn't even waste any time except in that qualifying offer,
No, he wanted to come back. He wanted to prove something, and he's going to get paid next year. I mean, I don't see any way that he has a terrible year unless he gets hurt really bad. I don't see any way he has a terrible year.
Well, his injury history is, I mean, for the most part, been pretty clean aside from at the very, very beginning of his MLB career, he had Tommy John. But aside from that, I mean, he's pretty much been healthy. I mean, nothing serious. So, I mean, and if he does get hurt, I mean, he's just on a 1-year deal. So, I mean, I don't want to put that in people's minds
but you've got Cole Winn and you've got Cole Reagans, you got Glenn Otto, you got all these guys waiting in the wings. If someone gets hurt, I don't feel as terrible as I normally do because we have guys that can be, I mean, we've talked about this before. I didn't put this on our list, but I think the best pitcher in spring training was Cole Reagans.
Oh, for sure. And
no doubt.
With his full off season of work, not having to worry about rehabbing and strengthening back up and getting used to throwing again, coming off the 2 Tommy Johns, right? Yeah. And he got a full off season to go out there and prepare. And you can definitely tell. I agree 100%. Maybe deGrom, I mean, would be the only one. That's good company. If you're saying Cole Reagans, he might have been the best, I guess, long man / starter, whatever his role's going to be. It's going to be good, whatever his role is going to be. Yeah, hitting high 90s and getting,
I honestly, I know we're going to talk about Joe Barlow in a minute being sent down, but I honestly don't see any way that Cole Reagans and Ezekiel Duran don't make this team. Yeah,
it's going to be hard. I mean,
they have tore the cover off the ball, or he has at the offensive side and played center field, and just looked really good. And then we just talked about Reagan, so I just don't see how they're making it so hard on the brass because I don't know how you leave either of those guys off this 26 man.
No, and even then, Cole Reagans is going to make it hard. It's like, okay, if he's so effective, do you want him to just rely on him as being a long man / swing guy, or do you want to start throwing him in there in key spots? I mean, you gotta take that into account too. Then who's gonna? What's the shuffle gonna be?
Yep.
So we already saw part of it, and I think Cole Reagans was a big part of why, and we'll talk about that again. In Joe Barlow not making the team, I think that was part of it. But and I think Barlow, it seemed like, I don't know, he just seemed like not himself there.
Well, he's coming off a little bit of an injury.
Yeah.
And they just don't think he's recovered enough. They think it's affecting his velocity as well as some other things. And from what I understood, he wasn't terribly upset about it. Like he wasn't, crushed. He wasn't completely surprised because they just want him to strengthen back up before he comes back up.
Yeah, it sounded like he understood.
It's not a permanent demotion. It's almost like a rehab assignment.
Yeah. I would put it that way. And having a guy like Cole Reagans doing what he's doing really made that possible. Because if not, you'd be sitting there going, well, what are we going to do here? Are we going to put Barlow in the bullpen to start the season when we know he's not 100%? What are we going to do?
Well, I think Cole Reagans and probably Ian Kennedy changed that plan because Ian Kennedy had a decent spring as well.
Yeah, he did. That's a guy
we still don't know if he's going to make the team or not.
No, we have no idea. I mean, cut down days, what, the second?
Yes, the cut down day will be this Tuesday, maybe, because season
Tuesday.
starts Thursday, so they got to have it. They got to have it decided by, because when do they play their? Whenever they play their exhibition game at Globe Life, after they can have the guys there, and then they'll release them or send them where they're going after that.
Yeah, Monday, May 2nd. So next Monday, we will know who's on the 26th.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that works. But yeah, I mean, and I think, like I said, Reagan's may have forced that move to give Barlow time because they didn't need him so badly because, well, we got a guy throwing 99 and striking out everybody right now from the left side, you know, and it's not like Taylor Hearn had a bad spring either. I mean, our bullpen has looked a lot better than I expected it to without picking any major players up.
No, and that's something we I think we expected maybe an arm or two to come in the offseason.
Yeah.
But they went full bore starting rotation and brought Josh Morse back. So it's just, man, it's going to be.
I'm excited.
It's going to be. I mean, Brett Martin, unfortunately, is on the 60-day IL.
Yeah.
But I mean, like Cole Reagans helps with that. John King is healthy.
Yep.
You know, so and you got Taylor.
Yep.
So
you got Reagans, you got Jonathan Hernandez, you got, Jose Leclerc. I mean, you think about this, that's not a bad bullpen on paper at all.
No, it's not. I mean, and I know I mentioned this on the last pod about Michael Tepid participation on Twitter. You just look up that name, you'll find it for sure.
You'll find him.
He said that the Rangers don't have any guys coming out of the pen that say, have that FU 98, and everybody you watch the playoffs, all those teams that are in the playoffs have multiple guys that come in and say FU and bring in 97, 98, 99. So, and that's a good point, but also where are they hitting with those 97, 98, 99? Obviously it's good enough because you're in the playoffs, you're going to the championship series and you're going to the World Series. And so, I mean, he's got a point. I'll just leave it that way or leave it at that. And then just say right now, I mean, I like the guys that are currently there, and I'm just super, super interested because we haven't even talked about Brock Burke either.
No, I didn't even mention him, and he had a heck of a year last year, man.
Yes, he did. I'd say the best bullpen pitcher we had. I mean, I don't think
between him and Matt Moore. Well, him and Matt Moore.
Well, yeah, and Matt Moore.
But as far as rookies that started, he was by far and above the best pitcher.
Oh yeah, he was excellent. So
and Matt Moore reinvented himself, which was pretty awesome to see.
Yes, he did. And he it's funny, the Rangers gave him two chances to reinvent himself, and he did. He did not the first time. He didn't do it the first time.
He did the second time. No, and all I remember from him, when he came, I never liked him because of that 2011 Game 1 of the World Series where he smoked the Rangers for 8 innings or whatever it was.
Yeah. Well, let's not talk about that.
No, because he helped us last year in that 68 win season.
Yeah.
So 2 guys though, Ian Kennedy. Let's break this down now. Ian Kennedy and Brad Miller, are both those on the opening day roster? I think Brad is versatile enough that he's going to be on the team.
I do as well, and I know Kennedy, for us at least, had a good year, but when you look at it overall, he had a 5.36 ERA. That's not closer stuff.
No.
And he
wouldn't be the closer. I don't think, even if he makes the team.
I know they have him listed as closer on the depth chart, but
I don't think he would be the closer.
No, I don't. I think Leclerc.
Yeah, I do.
Leclerc, too. I think he's going to get the first shot, and
I think Hernandez will be 8th inning. Leclerc will be 9th.
Yeah, I agree, or vice versa. I'd like to see vice versa. To be honest with you, to be perfectly honest,
because Hernandez, when he's on, man, he is nasty.
His 2-seam fastball is ridiculous.
Yep.
97, 98 with some hair.
Yeah, it's nasty.
So it's really it's an awesome pitch, but I'm going to say no on both.
Okay, I can see that, and because you also have Duran that we were just talking about, who is also can play infield, outfield, and is completely versatile and has had a much better spring than Brad Miller.
Correct. I mean, that's.
Although I noticed in the last spring training game, Miller jacked a home run, maybe trying to get back in.
Maybe you listened to our last podcast when I said, "Hey, we haven't said anything about him.
Yeah,
we haven't talked about him at all."
And then he jacked a home run in a game that Jacob deGrom started that he knew everybody would be watching. So kudos, Brad. That's a good time to hit a home run, bud.
Yeah. So it's,
and I'll be honest. I like him a lot. Brad Miller,
Brad Miller,
as a person,
yes.
he's an awesome dude, man.
Oh, did you? He's okay. Here's a trivia question. Corey Seager became the second shortstop to ever hit 30 home runs left-handed. Who was the other one?
I don't know. Brad Miller. I was going to say, because of who we were just talking about, I'm going to guess it was Brad Miller.
Yeah, it was Brad Miller. So Brad Miller's versatility is good too. He can play third. Yeah. He can play short. He can obviously play out left. I prefer to left field arm wise, but it's having that versatility helps him.
But like I said, these guys have left the Rangers with some really tough decisions.
Oh yeah, and it's a good problem to have. You don't want to be wrong, but but sometimes you are, because you stock the cupboard too full. You got to get rid of a can of soup or something. That's a very
we thought
bad analogy right there.
But you and I and everyone else that we talked to, Jeff and John and Levi, and I mean everyone we talked to in the offseason thought some of these prospects would be moved by this point.
Yeah.
And they're all still here.
They're all still there. They're all still there. So, I mean, that's why I said on the last podcast as well that there might still be a move or two or even three before opening day involving some of our prospects and guys that we've fallen in love with. And I mean, again, a good problem to have.
And if Kennedy makes a team, someone has to come off the 40.
Somebody's got to.
So someone's got to go somewhere.
Yep. And so it's, and same with some wars. I mean,
I mean, and they brought back, let's switch over to minor league. I wanted to preview minor leagues a little bit.
Let's do that.
All 4 teams last year finished above, 3 of the 4 teams finished above 500, and Down East was 1 game under, and they didn't play the last game. So technically they could have finished 500, but they missed the last game of the season. But
could have been four organizations, 500 or better. But of
course, everyone remembers Frisco won it all. They were the Texas League champions last year. Fantastic team. Round Rock was good, but didn't make the playoffs, and Hickory was really good last year, which a lot of those guys are going to be at Frisco this year. So when you look at the 4 minor league teams, you've got the young guys. A lot of Dominicans are going to be at Down East this year. And you've pretty much got the whole Down East team is probably going to be at
international
Hickory.
Signings. International signings are going to make up those 2 teams, really.
And then Frisco is always the one to watch, man. You're going to have Acuna there. You're probably going to have Leiter and Rocker there to start the season. You're going to have Dustin Harris is probably going to be at Round Rock. Yeah, you're going to have Ricky Vanasco there. Zach Kent is probably going to be in AAA, but Frisco is shaping up. I mean, if you had to guess, get out your crystal ball, which minor league team do you think has the best record this year?
Frisco again.
I agree. 100%. 100%. I think it's going to be Frisco again.
Yep. And I mean, don't be surprised if Hickory, kicks some tail too. But Frisco's got a lot of talent there. There's a lot of talent on that Frisco squad. And those are guys that, we don't know for sure yet, but those are guys that are more than likely going to be at Frisco. Yeah.
Well, I'd say I'm 99% sure about Ricky Vanasco.
Oh yeah.
About Leiter, about Rocker. And I think Leiter. I'm pretty sure about Leiter as well. About, guys that just got called up at the end of the last season. Evan Carter will probably be at Frisco as well.
Yes. So, that's another one.
Yeah, Owen White will probably be at Frisco. So you're looking at quite the team to start the year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to digging into the minors. I guess me and Ben kind of accidentally did this, kind of separated ourselves. How Ben chases the AA and AAA folks to get on the podcast, and I'm chasing the minor, the low A or the
A's,
the A balls, the A balls.
You're doing the A balls.
The A ballers, and that's just how it worked out. I mean, I got an in with Hickory and Down East, and he got an in with Frisco and Round Rock, and that's just how it happened. I mean,
I got lucky that I got a business trip where I got to go to those 4 days to Round Rock last year and meet everybody. It just helps when you get to shake some hands and talk to people in person. And we had their GM on because of that trip, and he was really cool. Tim Jackson, that guy was cool. And then of course, I text back and forth with their media guy, and then I've been in with Frisco now for a couple of years. I'll probably go to their media day again next week. So and get a bunch of interviews there, which will be really fun. So anyway, people back too in their organization. They brought Joe Palumbo back. Joe Palumbo, man, that dude's fastball sits at like 98. And I think
he just unfortunately hit the injury bug, and then his minor league retainability just ran out on him. And the Rangers, they didn't have a spot. I mean,
but he's back again in the organization. So I mean, this I mean, if you don't pay attention, well, here's the deal. Let me announce this at least now. CJ and I, this podcast we're doing right now on Sunday night that'll air on Monday, we're going to make this our minor league show. Every week, we're going to drop a minor league podcast, just 25 to 40 minutes on the minor leagues and the big plan is each Sunday night, our plan is to have a player on either Sunday night or Monday, because Monday's their off day. So once they finish, I mean, if we can get them on Saturday or on Sunday or on Monday, that podcast will drop. So hopefully at least 3 times a month, we'll have a player or a coach or a GM or a manager or somebody on from the minors to talk about how all that stuff's going. So if you guys want to keep up with the minors, and there are other people out there that do a great job writing about it and talking about it, but we plan on dedicating an entire podcast each week just to the minor leagues, and whoever we have on, we'll probably focus on his team for that whole episode and give you some highlights from the other teams, but it's going to be, I think it's going to be great. I think y'all are going to love it out there. Hopefully you'll love it. Let us know. We always like getting tweets, whether you love us or hate us. We like to hear from you out there.
Well, and those that actually like us, thank you. Don't know what we did, but hey, appreciate it. And I'm going to be writing every off day on the rangerreport.com. I'll have an article up every evening on Rangers off days.
Yep. And remember, either me or CJ drop one on Monday on Dallas Sports Nation every week. So we got one there.
So we're going to have 2. You're getting 2 episodes of us a week
for the same price.
For the same price. Yeah. And so, yeah, we're going to have a minor league podcast and then a major league podcast twice, 2 episodes a week.
And actually, if you become a patron, you'll get even more than that. But
yes,
anyway, you'll get the this is what we actually sound like before I edit it podcast.
Oh yeah, people will love that. Like you said earlier, you should have had it recording before we hit record.
Yeah, we said some great stuff off the air.
Yeah. That's not even including all the dumb stuff that we do on air, but
no, and our text messages. I should post our text string on Patreon.
It's not much different than the podcast.
It is not actually at all. No, it is not much different than the podcast. There might be a little more flowery language in our text than there is on the show.
Yeah, I've tried to curb back on that a little bit, but
as we get bigger, we'll probably want to cut back on that. But we have been. So
yeah, I've been being a good boy, kind of. I can only be so much of a good boy, though.
And I think we've mentioned this lots of times with the season starting. We'll mention it again. You guys have blown this thing up. When I started this thing, I started it in 2011, but when I started back in 2018, I never would have imagined that I'd have a year with almost 30,000 downloads in the year. And, it's just incredible. We went from, I think I had 2,000 in 2019. And then we went for the year, and now we almost broke 30K last year in listens. We have several sponsors, and then we've got the news coming up on Thursday. So let's talk before we wrap up. Let's talk a little bit about Thursday's show. Thursday, of course, is opening day. The Rangers play at 3, so we'll record a podcast at 6 o'clock, or 7 o'clock, somewhere in there.
7 o'clock likely.
And I'll actually try to drop it on Thursday, not Friday. I'll try to get it up pretty quickly because it's opening day, and we want to get that out on opening day. And it's not going to be live. We'll rethink that before we do it again.
Yeah, that was interesting. So,
dude, that was so hard to edit, man. That was so hard to edit.
I'm sure it was. You little jackwagons that like to get on and
our little trolls.
Little trolls that are.
Oh, that's what why didn't I do that? I could have left their faces in there, but put troll faces in front of them instead of their actual faces.
Man. I mean, if they want to get on a recorded podcast, then sure, put you on there, and then Let me go. I'm going to go ahead and jump on my soapbox real quick.
All right.
Y'all think that you little jackwagons think that y'all are funny right now and all, but whenever you start trying to get jobs outside of high school and that stuff is on air to hopefully we get big enough to where a lot of people know us and they see your face on there doing stupid crap. Yeah. Good luck. Because, who would have thought, Vince McMahon didn't think that all the stuff he did back in the day would come back to him because you don't know what technology is going to be like in 20 years.
Exactly. So, you never know. That is a good soapbox to be
all
on.
Right. Off my soapbox.
We'll be covering game 1, how it went, talk about DeGrom a lot, I'm sure. We'll talk about the offense and how they did. We'll talk about how they looked against the Phillies. We'll talk about what it'll look like with the shift, being gone now and how that
pitch clock.
We'll talk about the pitch clock. So we got a lot to talk about.
I love.
I thought I would hate it, but I do kind of like it myself.
Now I hate instant replay.
Well, I've just always hated instant replay. Yeah.
Yeah. Just or not necessarily the getting the call right, but it's just those ones where a guy is safe, but his popped off the base just a tiny bit right before his hand came to. Yeah.
And the other one I don't understand is when they spend 5 minutes looking at it and still get it wrong.
Yeah, still get it wrong.
Like, I don't get those either. But hey, that's my soapbox, man.
And that's not the umpires looking at the screen either. That's people that have a monitor, huge monitor.
They get to see every angle of it, even angles that aren't shown on TV, and they still miss it. Let's not start that. But anyway,
bastards.
This is the Ranger Report podcast. We are brought to you by Walton's and Preferred Health Solutions and presented by Dallas Sports Nation. And starting Thursday, we have something else to say about that. But for now, that's where we are. We are super excited to bring some of the new stuff we're going to be bringing to you guys. We are super excited for some of the guests that we're going to bring on and some of the places we're going to get to host and guest. I'll say that. So it's going to be pretty exciting for us. And hopefully for everybody out there, we should get a much larger reach than we currently have. So that's all I'll say. And we're also, doesn't affect you guys at all, but we'll be going to a new podcast host that gives us more analytics and more ways to break down what we're doing and improve it. So it's going to be fantastic.
So maybe those people that do go, man, you guys suck. Maybe they'll be like, hey, they're better now.
Hey, they suck less. Let's listen again.
Yeah, they suck less. Let's see. Now let's just pick the tiny little holes that they screw up on.
Yeah. Don't forget youtube.com/The Ranger Report. You can always watch it there and see our mugs on your TV or on your phone or on your computer or on your tablet, wherever you want to watch us.
Wherever.
What else are you doing on your phone? You may as well watch us.
We can be on your lap, on your tablet, on the pot. Hey,
that's right.
There you go.
You can watch us while you can listen to us take care of business while you take care of business.
Yeah, there you go. I got a little personal on that one.
It did, yeah. Maybe I'll cut that part out.
No,
that's staying.
That's not how we roll.
All right. Well, CJ, honestly, thank you for everything you've done over the last few years. I'm looking forward to what will the future holds for this show.
Yes. Thank you for a lot of things. Most importantly, being my friend.
That part's easy.
One.
That part's easy.
I don't know sometimes. But yeah, thanks for continuing to just keep doing this thing. And even during those down years, because it gave me an opportunity to get back during a time where I needed something like this. I really did personally. And so, and it's just been a blast since day one. And
now we are kicking some booty.
Some ass. Woo!
Yeah.
I was a bad boy.
You just got us canceled. Cancel culture is going to get rid of us.
Sucks.
That doesn't matter. They're all a bunch of asses anyway. So anyway, all right. Well, that'll wrap it up for us tonight. We will talk to you guys on opening day, guys. Thursday, opening day, Rangers Phillies, 3:00. If you can, take off work and go watch it. So we will talk to you guys not next week, but Thursday.
Well, you watch us on the pot while you're dropping deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Ranger Report podcast. Find us on Twitter, Facebook, and at therangerreport.com.